Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you. And thank everyone for watching and playing.
We appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, first of all, sorry everyone. I was biting my tongue the whole time. But if I'm talking, you're not hearing what they're saying. So I wanted you to hear what they were saying. So I was obviously seeing all the comments, but yeah, there's a lot to take in. Oh my God. Recap, please. Just got here. It's clear Jonathan does not want to relent on the difficulty. Now, at a high level, I don't have a problem with that. I don't want the game to be easy. The problem is that he doesn't want to adjust the things that will help us and put the tools in our artillery to be able to circumvent that. Because right now, we're playing like this. This is how we're playing the game, with one hand. And maybe that's a poor analogy, but we're playing that because I feel that there are resources that are so restrictive in the game that it doesn't allow us to power creep, doesn't allow us to customize our character, to make ourselves more powerful. Again, I go back to the crafting. I don't want POE crafting. No, it's too complicated. It takes forever to learn, but there's got to be a better, they need to give us the tools to make ourselves more powerful. If we're more powerful, we have a chance against the higher difficulty. I don't want the game to be watered down. So that hope of mine is gone. Jonathan, I can clip him 5 times during that interview. That just makes the argument for what I'm just saying. Number 2, what is disturbing, and disturbing might be too strong of a word. What is really making me shake my head is he mentioned the top players. Well, if we do this, then the top players are just going to fucking melt the game and it's going to be boring. If we do, like he mentioned the top player, I think twice, or maybe even 3 times, but definitely twice. Why are you building like he's so worried about the game being too easy for the top players? Like, you shouldn't be building the game for the top players. Or, sorry, designing the game. Because that is the 1%. I can count, well, maybe 2 hands. Because there's a lot of amazing Path of Exile players. Or maybe there's more. But you shouldn't be and no disrespect against Ben, Jungron. They're amazing players, but that shouldn't be your, oh my God, how would they gonna play the game? Like, you know what I mean? I find that a little disturbing. Jonathan's remarks about it hasn't been my experience. I get all kinds of currency. All my gear is ruined. You know? I'm changing gear all the time. Again, I'm paraphrasing. I want to see this guy play because I need some tips. I want to see Jonathan play all the way to tier 15 maps. He should do a 1-week stream from 0 to tier 15 maps. I want to see this because clearly he's playing a different game. Again, I'm going by my experience. Artificer Orbs sounds like they're going to increase the drop rate. But at the core of it is still the currency. And RNG shouldn't rely on RNG, whether you're playing rarity, whether you're not playing rarity. Jonathan, regarding regals, hey, are you disenchanting rares? That's such a tedious task. Like, I disenchant as much as I can, and I salvage. Like, I have my routine when I go back to town, right? So what? We're going to turn off our loot filters so we can pick up everything to Disenchant so we get more regals, for example? Like, is that what you want, going back in and out of town? I don't know. And then some people argue, what? Not a lot of rares dropped to begin with. I don't understand the obsession with, like, they talked about speed, right? Ziz asked several times about speed, making the player faster. Jonathan's like, well, you can just run by the mobs. But what's the point of the game then? You can just run by mobs. We want you to engage with the mobs. Like, no, we're not going to just run by the mobs. We play ARPGs because we love trashing and killing mobs. That's probably why people love the genre. It's about killing shit. A lot of shit. You know, we run by mobs when we've already cleared the area, but the thing resets, so we got to clear it again. That's when we try to run by mobs. Like, we run by mobs if we're in an area that we're level 30 and the area is level 23. Well, I'm not killing anything. It's not worth my time. The XP is not there. We're ARPG players. We want to kill shit. We want to kill a lot of shit. But not like this. Come on. Give us the goddamn tools. Now, they went on and on and on and on about difficulty, balance, difficulty, and if we do this, we do. It's, again, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm too simplistic. But this issue of difficulty has to do with power. The player power is here and the enemy is here. Okay? So, how do we get this? How do we level it? You don't want to change the difficulty of the enemy? Don't change it. I don't really give a shit. Make the game harder, but give me the tools and the resources to try to catch up. That's all I want. That's all I want. Give me the exalts. Give me the orbs. Give me the drops. Let me work with it and see what I need and what I don't want. Now, they talked about Viper. That's exactly what I did, but I was lucky with Viper. I only had 2 exalts. I died like 6 or 7 times. It was clear my damage was not good. I had a crossbow that dropped. I was saving it because I only had 2 exalts. It had the mods on it already, so thank God I had a regal. So I regaled it, and I had 2 exalts, and thank God I got the mods that I needed. And it worked out. But that rarely happens. Like, really, horseshoes up my ass. I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I put a iron ruin on it. I went back. Bob's your uncle. I killed Viper. I think I died 1 or 2 more times, but the damage was there now. My point is, I had the tools. Now, barely the tools. Okay? Now, if I didn't get hit, if I didn't hit the physical damage on my prefixes, I would have bricked the item. And that's what happens 8 out of 10 times. 8 out of 10 times. That's what happens. So here's my experience. You guys tell me I'm on crack and I don't know how to play the game. When I get a good item like that crossbow, it was in my stash because I'm like, you know what? I want to wait till I get a couple of more regals and a couple of more exalts. I only have 2 exalts. Okay? So I put it in the stash. Problem number 1. I get a crossbow drop that has fizz damage on it already. It's a higher level requirement than what crossbow I have equipped. Beautiful. Bing, bing. Those are 2 things that I'm looking for. What do? I put it in my fucking stash. There's the fucking dilemma with the game. I should immediately be slamming that motherfucker, but I'm not. Why? Because I don't have the currency in my stash tab to make me feel comfortable. So we can talk about power. We can talk about all this other shit, but if I can't power up my character during the campaign, what the fuck am I doing? Why should I sit there and spend 2 minutes to kill white mobs with the hopes that I might get a good drop, I might get some currency? Why? And herein lies the dilemma. Everyone's talking about all these 7 or 8 things. Lower the damage, higher the damage, player damage goes up, player damage goes down, bosses are too hard, enemies. No, give us the tools. Path of Exile has smart players. They know how to play the game. Even all the new players that are coming in Path of Exile 2, it is such... the access to Path of Exile 2 is glorious. It's so good for noobs like me. It's much simpler than Path of Exile. Nothing against Path of Exile. But they've done such a brilliant job to widen this game to such a broader audience, and we're fucking playing the game like this, with our fucking hands tied behind our back. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't have a problem. All my gear is ruined. Like, I got ruins on all my gear. I got regals. Are you disenchanting your rares? Oh, I don't know. We're all smoking pot and playing a different game, I guess. I don't know. It's frustrating as shit. This game is so good. Do you understand how good this game is? It's so addicting. So addicting. But I got news for you, GGG. Not everybody's a psycho like me that plays this game every evening for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on the night, and is willing to fucking crawl to the maps. Crawl, because I love the game so much. No, that's me. And 50, 60 hours a week playing a video game. Well, you want to widen yourself to a broader audience. I got news flash for you. The wider audience maybe has 5 hours a week, maybe 8, maybe 10, 20, 3, whatever. Do you think they're going to fucking tippy-toe and crawl and do the campaign for 50, 60, 70 hours? Come on. Come on. Well, we don't want the 1% to kill the game and... Sorry, not kill the game. Well, if we lower the damage, or if we lower the... What's the 1%? They're gonna annihilate... Newsflash. They're already annihilating the game. The Bens, the Jungrones, you can tie both hands behind their back. They are gonna one-shot the boss. They're just too good. You can't make a game based on how they play the game. They are going to annihilate the game regardless. You can give them a fucking toothpick. They're going to kill their arbiter. That's how good they are. So you don't play it like that. Sorry. And again, maybe I'm naive. Crafting. This all comes down to putting the tools in our hands. So we keep talking about this power push, this power grind. It's so frustrating, the power grind. So frustrating. So that was my live reaction yesterday from the Zizaran and Mark and Jonathan interview. And as you can see, I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you. Now, I do want to say a couple other things now that I've had a chance to sleep on it. And there is an update that's come out of that interview, and we'll get into that into a second. But first of all, I want to say, like, major applause to Zizaran. This is the kind of interview that the community really needs regularly from people that are interviewing Jonathan and Mark. And I'm not promoting or saying that we need to have combative discussions. That's not the point. What is or what needs to be done on a consistent basis is the fact that when these interviews are conducted, whoever is conducting the interviews has to represent the community at large. Whatever the current state of the game is, that tone, that vibe, whatever is stirring up with the community, the issues that are stirring up, the person interviewing needs to represent that. And I think Zizaran it was a 20 out of 10 interview. Like, God bless Zizaran. He did not just sit there and take it. He wasn't just smiling and nodding his head and glazing GGG. He actually, for the very first time, I think consistently, it's been done in bits and pieces with other interviews, and this isn't a knock against the people that have interviewed Grinding Gear Games. They've all in their way did the best that they could. But I think what Zizaran did in this interview is the masterclass of how things should be done. It is the model of how it should be done. He was very professional. He's very knowledgeable in the game. Obviously, Zizaran has been playing Grinding Gear Games since the dawn of time. He is a top content creator in the space, if not the biggest one. So he knows his stuff. But he not only took his own personal gripes with the game and put it in front of Grinding Gear Games, but he took the major sentiment of the player base to Mark and Jonathan in that interview, and he was very combative in a very respectful and professional manner, in my view. I actually thought he was very good. He got interrupted a lot during this interview, and I think he held his own. And the other thing that he should be applauded for is he called it out when it deserved to be called out. There were several times where Jonathan said something and Zizaran immediately would say, well, I understand, but that's not how we're feeling. I totally disagree with that. He was respectful, professional, but he wasn't letting anything slide. He was calling it out. He was calling strikes and balls the whole friggin' interview. Zizaran, good job, my friend. Good job. Well done. So I wanted to give Zizaran his dues, and I hope all you guys see that too, and go support that man every way possible. He deserves it. It takes a lot of kahunas, big kahunas, to do what he did, because the easy way out is to glaze Grinding Gear Games. To take the harder path is to actually confront them respectfully and challenge them. And that's what he did. So congratulations, Ziz. And by the way, Zizaran, thank you so much for representing the broader audience of Path of Exile 2, the majority of the player base, and not just little silos that exist. So thank you for that. Great job. The other thing that I do want to say is the fact that, I know the clip that I showed on my live reaction when I was streaming the interview, and literally I was asked right away, summarize, what are your thoughts? And you saw my reaction. I've come down a little bit. I know I did say my hope for Grinding Gear Games to kind of come closer to what the player base wants is completely lost. That's a little bit of an overreaction on my part. I do want to say something. I know Jonathan is getting a lot of heat, and some of it is deserved. But I do always, when I think about things like this, I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes to try to understand their situation. And that I do that because the hope is I take that information and it influences how I'm thinking, right? It's because information is knowledge. So I thought about this last night. Like, You can say whatever you want about Jonathan. He's stubborn. He's out of touch. He's this, he's that, whatever. He just wants a hard game. He only wants to try hards to be good at it. Whatever the noise is, right? But let me just say this in his defense. As someone who has run a business, a big business, and has done products and services, and you treat these things. I know when I had my company, it was my baby. I nurtured it. I lived and breathed it. I thought about it 24/7, and anyone that did any harm to it, I would immediately get defensive. So I apply that knowledge to where Jonathan is. And I present the following to you to hopefully make you understand why Jonathan is so perceived to be resistant, if that's what some people think, right? Just try to understand, put yourself in his shoes. He has a vision, and I know we can debate about the vision. This is a motherhood statement, okay? It's his baby. He has a vision. He has an idea, and we are nipping away at that. So just try to understand and give him a little leeway on why he's being so protective of it. It's his baby. Like, he's protecting his vision, which is his baby. So it's going to take time, if there's any possibility of that changing the vision. We just got to give him time. I'm not saying that it's going to change. Time will tell. But I'm just trying to put some perspective into why Jonathan is being perceived sometimes as stubborn. And this vision of his, this vision, it's his baby, guys. This is like, I don't know how else to explain it. If you haven't experienced it, I don't know what to tell you, but just put that in the back of your mind, and hopefully that will help explain. It's not that he wants to argue or fight with people. It's we are messing with his vision, his baby. So he's being protective. It's natural. Now, having said that, I think he has a lot of major decisions to make. It's clear in this interview that Jonathan has his vision, which is difficulty, engaging, meaningful combat. Nope, you're not running by. You are engaging with everything. And it needs to be difficult. It can't be slow. It can't be fast. All this stuff, right? And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I got the impression that Mark is more of, well, I wouldn't have a problem with that. So it looks like internally, Mark and Jonathan, and that's a good thing, by the way. We talked about this on my live stream yesterday. To me, the more efficient business is when you have opposing views. Having two of the same types of people in an organization that drive the business, to me, is not good. You need opposing views. So I think it's a good thing that Mark and Jonathan are on different levels on different topics. I think that's good for the game. But it's clear. I think Mark is more aligned with the players than Jonathan is. Now, that doesn't say shit's not going to happen, but we'll see in time what ends up happening. I do think that Jonathan is a very brilliant man. And I do think that he is concerned with the long-term viability of Path of Exile 2. Now, whether that leads to major changes, only time will tell. But it's clear Mark is protecting his baby, and he's not going to give it up easily. And I think what that means, things are going to take time to come down the pipe. Now, I'm sticking to my guns, and you guys tell me if I'm out to lunch. But to me, this comes down to having the players having resources in order to power creep their character. That's where the buck stops for me. You can make the game twice as hard from a difficulty level, Amp it all up, Mark. Amp it all up, Jonathan. Go ahead. But give us the tools. Give us the resources. Give us the drops. Like, give us the tools to make our character more powerful. And I got to say, I'm still shaking my head. Right after my reaction, we talked a little bit more. And then I went and I logged on and I played, I don't know, an hour or so on my character. We are now in Act 3, Cruel Act 3. So we're almost in maps, and I haven't experienced maps yet. But when I logged in after that interview, I did exactly what Jonathan said. Well, aren't you disenchanting all your gears and your rares? So guess what, guys? I literally picked up every magic item and every rare. I was going into town every 5 minutes, every 6 minutes. It was so annoying. So annoying. I don't pick up magic items that much anymore unless it's relative to what I need. I pick up rares. But now, if we have to disenchant, I'm going to play his game. Now, absolutely, he's right. If you pick up all the rares and disenchant them, now I had a shit ton. I'm a hoarder. So I disenchanted all of my loot, and I had 2.5 stash tabs full of gear and weapons, and I disenchanted them all, and I ended up with I don't know, 3 or 4 regals. Okay, so he's right in theory. He's absolutely right if that's how you want to get it. But is that really what the gameplay is going to be? We're going to be picking up all these items, and we will be going into town just to disenchant. Disengaging from gameplay, going into town, disenchanting, going back out, killing for 5 or 6 more minutes. Your inventory's full, going back to town, disenchanting, you see where I'm going with this? So if that's the gameplay that they're looking for, then I guess this is the gameplay. So that's my comment on that side. I also do want to commend Mark and Jonathan. First of all, not many studios do what they do, and they get in these podcasts, in these talks with content creators. They're honest, they're upfront. They even debate each other and not have arguments, but they're debating in front of us. That's very odd. They're not a dog and pony show where there's PowerPoint presentations, everything is scripted, and there's a message that they all are they're all in on, and no one steps outside of that. GGG is live and raw. It's not scripted and PowerPoint presentations. So they need to be applauded for things that they do. Not a lot of studios do that. That's number one. Number two, I want to also applaud them because literally right after we get this update, this coming from the live stream. Now, they were already going to do stuff, but there's some things in here that came out of the Ziz interview. And again, great job, Ziz, because some of this stuff is from your interview. I'm not going to go into this because this is already going to be a long enough video. You guys probably already saw this, but I will link it in the description of this video so you can read it for yourself. But there's a lot of player balances changes per class that are really good that a lot of people are going to be happy about. The one thing here is Bleed is back. They made some changes to Huntress and the Ranger and the Warrior. There's a new support gem called the Inhibitor, and it's all about charges. That's going to be huge. The Delirium is going to be longer, and crafting. They already alluded to it, and they've executed it already from the interview, and that is the Artifice Orbs that they added more, and throughout the campaign, we'll be able to get more. They also added ruins for attributes, allowing you to fix early game requirement issues. So out of this came this. Finding rares in endgame, So during an end game, a common issue is missing a rare in the corner of the map. This is a big one. This is a big fucking W that you didn't happen to explore. In order to mitigate the issue, we have changed rares to show up on the mini-map at all times. So we can immediately beeline to the rares and not go all over the map. Where are they? Where, like, brilliant. This is the kind of stuff that we need. They made some Matlin Waterways changes, and monster speed, which Zizaran brought up a lot. One of the issues that is often reported is getting swarmed by monsters. We're currently doing a pass to investigate the issue and can probably talk about specific changes tomorrow. But the changes are likely to be targeted at specific monsters that are too difficult, especially in zones that have a lot of faster monsters. Now, Mark made an example. Well, maybe some of the things we can look at regarding speed is, let's say it's a pack of 6 mobs. All 6 of them are coming at you at top speed. Maybe we look at only 2 of those 6 are at top speed, and the other 4 are much slower in speed. This way, you're not getting swarmed by all 6 kind of thing. Now, that's what Mark kind of was playing around during the live stream with Ziz. I don't know if that's what they're going to implement. Regardless, it looks like the talk that they had with Zizaran about this obviously has made them rethink the speed thing, and it's going to be interesting to see what we hear about that. And then they banned 301 accounts for the ritual exploit, and thank God, any exploit, they should be immediately banned, and they did, and they're banned for this league only, which is good. Hopefully they'll learn their lesson. Probably not. But it's good that they're taking action, because no action is basically encouraging it, and you're enabling it. You're basically saying, it's okay, exploit our game. But anyway, I just wanted to give GGG thumbs up for this right away, right after the, not even 24 hours after the live reveal. I'm sorry, the interview with Zizaran. They made a ton of good changes. So that's my take from the interview, guys. So look, I know a lot of people are going to be, I know people think the house is burning down, and I'm not going to deny that. I'm not an idiot. I have eyes and ears, and I'm fortunate enough that I hear from a lot of people. So even if I'm not in the know, there's a lot of things that come my way that help me educate more. Now, the thing is, I know, because I play this game every evening. I research the shit out of this game. I get information from all over the place. So I'm in the known to a certain degree, as much as my capacity allows me to. So the thing that I want to say is, yes, we are not in a good state right now, but I will always have that glimmer of hope, because we are talking about a studio, even though right now their reputation has taken a big hit. I've never seen this kind of disdain for grinding gear games. I said this in my last video. I've never seen it like this. So I get that. But at the end of the day, you are what you are. And they are a studio that has created greatness. They're capable of that. So the question is, how are they going to surpass this? Because right now, there is a tug of war between them and the majority of the player base. And again, like I said in my previous video, I know there are people, part of the population, part of the player base, that love the game and are happy with it. And there are people, part of the player base, that rage quit on launch day. But I don't count those two people. Sorry if you're part of that group. Your voices deserve to be heard too. But I'm interested in this game appealing to more people, and I'm interested in this game being viable long term. And in order to do that, you have to address your core audience, the majority of your clients, your audience, your player base. That's where you're going to hit the home run. And right now, the majority of the player base is not having fun at the very simplistic way. They are not having fun. And it is my argument. And again, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I don't know how to play the game, and you guys can please tell me. To me, make the game more harder. Make it more difficult. I do not want an easy game. I want a difficult game. But you have to give me the tools in order to try to catch up and have that power journey. That is what gives you the dopamine rush when you're constantly improving your class. And oh my God, now I'm killing everything with ease. And then you're back down to taking time to kill things. But then you find something, you craft it. Oh, now I'm back to being a god. And so it's that constant ebb and flow of getting more powerful, popping out, going down a little bit, then going back up again. But it's a constant up. Right now, it's like, it's that. To me, when I talk about slow, I'm talking about the power rise. I'm not talking about the players slow, the enemies are I'm not talking about slow gameplay. I'm talking about the power grind. Enemies are here, we're here, like I said before. Give us the tools to do this. Because right now, it's this as we're going through the campaign. And it's all due to the fact that we don't have the tools in order to do this with the power spike, with the power grind. That's all I'm saying. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. Anyway, if you are interested in staying up to date with anything Path of Exile 2, if you can find it in your heart to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell notification to get alerted when I drop videos like this. Please hit the subscription button and the bell notification. It would mean the world to me, and I would appreciate the support of my content. Anyway, guys, there is going to be no lack of news when it comes to Path of Exile 2. So hit that subscribe button, please. All right, everybody. And come watch me live. Twitch, SamyCaps. We play every evening. I'm in Cruel Act 3. We're getting close to maps. And we'll get to experience the new endgame in Path of Exile 2 in Dawn of the Hunt. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.